Rumors are that allegedly Real Housewives of Atlanta producers are getting tired of Kandi. What did she do? Well, I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that Real Housewives of Atlanta producers are getting tired of Kandi. What happened? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more, and here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly producers are fed up with their franchise star Kandiburruss and is ready to start holding her feet to the Bravo fire. One source said this latest move from production was completely out of left field. Many people behind the scenes were shocked to find out the producers allegedly had it in for Kandi and her peach. Considering all the things they know Kandi has been through this past year with her career and personal goals, to do something like this is just adding insult to injury, said the source. A lot of the things are finally coming to light, and the issue is Kandi is unjustly being targeted. How can you try to punish her for the same exact thing you praise her for? Ended the source. Everyone can agree that Kandi has had a jam-packed year and has worked really hard to help restore the franchise back to its glory days. So, what else could they possibly want? Well, an industry insider said producers allegedly want Kandi to open up more about her life in ways she hasn't in the past. The source continued, "That's fine, but the way they are going about it is manipulative and sneaky." The source pointed out Marlo recently revealing that allegedly it was producers who told her to bring up the Blaze shooting incident. While on the surface it seems pretty logical to do so, however, when Kandi and Todd both brought up the fact that they couldn't speak on the incident because of legal reasons, it should have been dropped then and there, but it wasn't, ended the source. Production always praises Kandi for her ability to produce a scene, but when she starts producing her own scenes, it becomes an issue. Kandi has been the most outspoken and consistently open housewife in Real Housewives of Atlanta history. So to try and play her like this wasn't cool and almost seemed deliberate by production to agitate her, ended the source. All sources agree that this season feels very different for Kandi. She is still maintaining her role as a franchise peach holder, but at times it seems as if her crown is getting a little heavy. One fan commented on social media, "Talk that Kandi doesn't open up her life is just complete BS and crazy. And the fact that production allowed that rumor to spread shows that maybe they are getting tired of Kandi. But who cares? We the fans sure aren't." Now, kinfolk, that is a lot of information regarding Kandi's performance this year so far on the season, and some, behind the scenes rumors that's coming out of production that came from filming this past season. And it's starting all to make sense because ever since last season wrapped, this has been this constant narrative that Kandi is not producing on the show. Kandi no longer serves a good purpose or a genuine purpose on the show, and that her storyline may have completely wrapped up. So with that being said, I do find one of these details of this rumor very surprising, and it's this. Kandi has been the longest running housewife on the show, and I feel like that should afford her certain protections from producers and from the network. Now, it does seem as if at times production and the network are ready to move on from Kandi because they do allow these rumors to continue to circulate and to continue to get out of control. But I feel like if you are to believe the rumors that the network sees great value in having Kandi, a superstar like Kandi, a part of the franchise, it seems as if they would go a little bit the extra mile to protect her public image when it comes to her importance on the show. Now, I will agree that she signed on to share her life, and that, you know, some topics just shouldn't be off limits, or any topic shouldn't be off limits, as long as it does not incriminate her in any type of legal way. So with that being said, I do feel like if production and the network really feels like Kandi is very important to the show and the franchise, then there's certain parts of her image they just wouldn't let get out of control. Now, I do think that Kandi does a great job of opening her life up to the cameras. Even some of the details, I'm sure she probably would like to remain closed off from the general public, but she continues to talk about it. And the biggest thing I think is just Mama Joyce's weird relationship with Todd. That's something, in my opinion, that can be very embarrassing and very burden heavy for a woman to carry when it comes to her standing in between her mother's opinions on her husband. So with that being said, the next part of this rumor that I find just completely crazy is this. The fact that this is a rumor that Kandi is not being forthcoming and open about her life is just complete craziness to me, because the network, or at least producers, seem to every season rely heavily on Kandi. You know, there was a time between seasons, I want to say 7 and 9, where Kandi had the most upfront or the most talked about storylines on the franchise. And it was a point where I thought to myself, when are they going to give Kandi a break? Because to be honest with you, every season we go back and forth. Oh, Portia's carrying this season on her back. Kandi's carrying this season on, Kenya's carrying this season on her back. Or Nene's carrying this season on her back. In actuality, it has really been Kandi who has consistently carried pretty much every season of Real Housewives of Atlanta on her back for, I'm going to say, the last at least 7 to 8 seasons. And with that being said, it speaks to how important Kandi is to the franchise. Because even when there's a season where she wasn't front and center with drama, she understood how to produce the other ladies, how to produce scenes, and how to make scenes work. Something that's very important, as we talked about here on the channel, in order to make reality TV work. So this whole narrative that at some point, if you are to believe the rumors, because right now it's just speculation and alleged information, the way these rumors are consistently coming up, it just does seem as if producers are getting tired of Kandi, which I don't understand why, because she is the, what's the saying, the goose that keeps laying the golden eggs, especially when it comes to production value. Now, kinfolk, there is another part of this rumor that I do find very odd of production to have done allegedly to Kandi, and the person they enlisted in to help them to complete this, alleged plan. And it's this. I feel like Kandi has been a part of this cast long enough and has a great working relationship, not only with the network, with producers, as to where if they wanted Kandi to talk about the Blaze shooting incident, they should have just come to Kandi and set her down, housewife to producer, businesswoman to businessman, and be like, look, this is a very interesting topic. Everyone's talking about it. Let's see what you can share about it, how much you can share about it that's comfortable for you and comfortable enough for your legal team, so that we can get this good content and so people can see a different side of your businesses. Now, with that being said, to me, that is the logical route they should have probably taken. However, they enlisted allegedly Marlo. Now, I get it. Producers try to produce scenes. They want to figure out which housewives have the most tense relationships, and they may sometimes use certain housewives to bring certain topics that are off boundaries to that housewife, just in order to get like a scene made, in order to pull some type of intensity out the housewife. Fine, but however, when you have Kandi and Todd, who have allegedly both told you behind the scenes and in front of the cameras that they really can't talk about the incident because of legal reasons, then it really should have been dropped there. Because we've seen how many times these housewives have gotten into legal trouble and sometimes it's been seen and captured on camera, which also just makes things very sticky for the housewife, for their businesses, and also sometimes for the entire franchise. So it seems if Bravo producers probably would have wanted to steer away from certain aspects of talking about what happened at the Blaze nightclub. Now with that, I mean the Blaze restaurant. Now with that being said, you know, there's one more part of this rumor that I do find somewhat interesting, but again, it is very telling to where Kandi currently, you know, allegedly stands with production, and it's this. You can tell that production, they're trying to pull more out of Kandi. Candice had a storyline about, you know, her career and how much of a burden it has been for her and her family, and her trying to find that delicate balance in being a mother, a wife, a daughter, and, you know, a friend. And you can tell that this storyline kind of seems to have been watched and repeated several times, just with different businesses that Kandi has implemented or plugged into the season. And so I think producers are realizing, or producers are realizing, that Kandi's presence on the show is a double-edged sword. And it's like the thing that you like about Kandi is the very thing that kind of frustrates you. You know, on one end, you like her talking about her businesses and having businesses on the show, but when things go wrong with that business, you want her to talk about the negative, but at the same time, she does have to, at the end of the day, protect her businesses and her business image and her own public image. So you can't get the nitty-gritty details that you probably want. They're a little bit scandalous in nature. However, with that being said, I think the biggest issue or the biggest solution to that issue is simply look to the other housewives to bring in more drama. Stop relying solely on just 2 or 3 housewives to carry the entire show for an entire season. That's very frustrating and unfair to the other unfair to those housewives. I feel like the time that producers are allegedly, you know, putting into airing out their grievances about Kandi and her storylines, I think that attention can be focused on the other new housewives who have a lot of storyline in them. I look at Sanya. Some people say that Sanya is not, you know, that entertaining, but if you just look at that family dynamic, whenever they're at Sanya's house, you can just feel the tension. And so I feel like with Sanya alone, there's like 3 or 4 seasons of storylines. Same thing with Drew. So I think that when producers are producing these narratives and filming in the future, they need to start looking outside of the veterans and the OGs to carry the load of the entire season and start, you know, looking towards the newer housewives and helping them develop their own storylines, their own brand identity, and to help them bring their own value to the franchise. Now, kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. If you are to believe this rumor, because right now it's all speculation and alleged information that producers are allegedly getting tired of Kandi, do you think they have a right to feel that way and that Kandi's time on the show may need to be wrapping up? Or do you think Kandi has been a very forthcoming housewife, and then all this talk about her not sharing her life with the fans and with the viewers is just simply BS? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.